Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. In one of our previous videos, we went over how to calibrate your Trackman 4 for indoor play using Trackman Performance Studio on the PC. That way it got you ready for a round of virtual golf or shot analysis or one of our games. In today's video, we're going to go over how to set up a round of virtual golf. So without further ado, let's go over to the PC.
Once you're in Trackman Performance Studio, the first thing you're going to need to do is click on the Courses tab in the top left. Once you've done that, you'll see a couple tabs down below. The first is the Featured tab, which shows all of our most recently added courses. The next is the Full tab, which is a complete list of all of our virtual golf courses available at this time. And after that is the Par 3 tab, which, as you may have guessed, is a list of all of our Par 3 courses. When you click on one of the course's thumbnails, you'll see a brief description up above. You'll also find the location of the course. This one happens to be fictional, the par, the yardage, and also the elevation. You may also notice that down on the thumbnail itself is actually the difficulty or rating of the course within our software. As far as choosing a virtual golf course to play today, let's head out to the Bahamas to play Albany. Once you click on the course's thumbnail, you'll then need to click the Select button. At this point, it's time to add all the players that will be playing in this round. You can see you have two different options, whether that's Guest Player or Trackman Sign In. If you choose Trackman Sign In, it will open up a window where you can log in with your My Trackman account. However, for ease of use, if you're just playing a casual round of virtual golf, we do recommend playing as a guest player. In this window, you can edit the name of the guest player, change the color of the player profile, edit the handicap of the player, choose the gender, and lastly choose the tees. Let's play the back tees. Now we're ready to choose the game settings for this round. First you have the game type. If you have any questions on what one of the games is, all you have to do is click on it and it'll give you a brief write-up to the right. Next we can decide whether or not we want to play the front 9, back 9, or all 18. Which pins we want to have, easy, medium, or difficult. Whether or not we want to allow mulligans during the round. What type of putting we want to have. Auto is by far the fastest, and each different type of putting does have its own description, just like the game type did to the right. Your gimme distance, and lastly, whether or not you want to allow warm-up shots to be hit on the first tee before you start your round. The next bit of settings that we can tweak before a round are course settings. That includes wind, fairway firmness, green firmness, and the speed of the greens. And the last settings we can tweak before a round are the view settings. This includes your comment length while the ball's in flight, your camera angles, automatic flybys on each tee box, your markers, which indicate where to aim while you're over the ball, automatic green grids, which show you the slopes, data tiles after each shot, which show you data for your swing, how long you want that data to show after each shot, and finally your graphics quality. This is an important one because it allows you to choose between max quality, which is the best graphics possible, and max performance, which lowers the standard of the graphics slightly, which enables your PC or laptop to run slightly smoother. At this point, we're ready to hit the back button and start this round. However, if you ever run into an issue where there's no start button, it's most likely because you have the wrong game mode selected. Here you can see I accidentally chose 2-player scramble, so let's change that to individual stroke and press start. Okay, the first thing you'll want to direct your attention to once Virtual Golf starts is the bottom left corner, where you can see whose turn it is, what hole number you're on, the par, distance to the green, and elevation change. In the bottom right hand corner is an overview of the hole. Here you can actually click and adjust your target line, as well as see your carry numbers off the tee and the distance left into the green. In the top left-hand corner of that overview is the wind direction and speed. At this point, it's finally time to tee off. Here we see our post-shot timer, which include our data tiles and the ability to replay, pick up, or re-hit a shot. Now it's time for our second shot. Looks like it's playing 160 yards and just less than a yard uphill. It may also help to hit the settings button right above your name to either get a flyby or a view of the green grid. That way you have a better understanding of what the shot entails. You can even add players mid-round now. You can do so by clicking the settings menu, clicking players, and then add player. You can input a name for whoever wants to join, as well as their handicap, tee boxes, and team color. One last thing to note when adding a player mid-round is that that player does need to start at the beginning of the hole in which you are on currently. That means that once I hit this chip, Brady will then have to tee off at the beginning of this hole. Instead of that, let's jump to the second hole. Now that there's two players, you can look in the bottom left to verify whose turn it is. Now, with Brady's upcoming shot, you're going to see the ball comes to rest in the fringe. Not too bad of a shot, but what you'll see is that in Virtual Golf, it is very important that if you choose to putt from the fringe, that you physically choose the putter. If you opt to putt while a wedge is chosen, or chip while the putter is chosen, you do run the risk of not tracking the shot. You'll also see here that I accessed the view settings to toggle on the green grid. That way I can get a better read on this putt. Once this ball comes to rest, you'll find both players are now on the green and the auto putts are applied. One last thing that we'll go over, which is super helpful inside of Virtual Golf, is the ability to recalibrate the Trackman while in a round. In order to do so, press the Windows button in the bottom left corner of your keyboard, click on the orange TPS icon on the taskbar, and that should open Trackman Performance Studio, which sits idly by in the background while you play Virtual Golf. Click on the white Trackman logo at the bottom center of the screen, and that will bring up the target image screen. Here you'll be able to verify that your Trackman is calibrated just like you normally would before you start shot analysis or Virtual Golf. Once properly calibrated, click the Windows button in the bottom left corner of your keyboard once again, and then open up the golf simulator running in the background. Now the round should resume and you can proceed like normal. And the last useful tip I have for you today is if you want to remove a player in the middle of a Virtual Golf round, all you have to do is click on the settings button, go to players, click the pencil icon for the player that you'd like to remove, click remove player at the bottom of the screen, followed by one final click of remove. At this point, you're ready to resume your round.
Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully that provided a little bit of clarity on how to play Virtual Golf in Trackman Performance Studio. But if you have any questions, please always feel free to check out some of our other videos, or you can contact our technical support line. Thanks.